Chapter 26, Part 1. Seeing the speech of Jiangke's fans, this time the silence became someone else. Although many people on Xinguang didn't like Jiangke's pretentious appearance, in terms of winning or losing this stone betting battle, they all tacitly agreed that Jiangke would win. Everyone knows that because of the limit of the betting rate, the gold content of the second-level stone gambler is many times higher than that of the first-level stone gambler. More than half of the stone gamblers will be stuck on the road to promotion to the second-level stone gambler and cannot make any progress. This little brother named Gu Yun is good-looking, but it doesn't mean that he has a strong ability to gamble. They can lick the screen while yelling, but it is impossible to bet on the appearance. After all, no one will have a hard time with Xingbi. After introducing the two, the host Tan Shu's sweet voice sounded in the ears of the guests off stage. Everyone, please look at the wool materials selected by the two stone gamblers. Numbers 1 to 5 are the wool materials selected by the stone gambling master Gu Yun, and numbers 6 to 10 are the wool materials selected by the stone gambling master Jiangke. These 10 pieces of wool are all selected from the D area, and the price is 30,000 star coins. 10 pieces of wool are enlarged on the screen, and the holographic mode is presented in 360 degrees without dead ends. You can choose any angle to watch, and the audience on the Star Network can also touch the scene to make bets. From now on, guests, please place a bet on stones. The time is 50 minutes, and the countdown begins. Except for some passers-by who came to see the beauty of Beijing, other people who participated in the betting all carefully checked the wool material, and many also brought magnifying glasses, strong lights, and other equipment. Many people did not look at the wool material numbers one by one, but skipped the first 5 numbers and started from the 6th. Time is tight. The wool material selected by the first-level stone gambler. Oh, can you look at it at the end? Beijing was a little bored sitting on the seat next to him. 4 or 5 live cameras were still floating around and dutifully filming. The audience in the live broadcast room could switch perspectives at any time through the live balls. It's really a 360-degree beauty bombing without dead ends. No matter which angle is so beautiful. The figure is also great. Look at his slender waist and long legs. He sucks. And those eyes, it killed me so much. I stopped breathing the moment I looked at it. Some people praised it, and some people were dissatisfied. What's the use of looking good if you have the ability to win? That is, what's wrong with the current atmosphere? The game of stone gambling is naturally gambling stone. Yin Dog gets rough. Under the shooting of the live ball, Beijing couldn't use the optical brain to avoid revealing his identity, so he looked at Jiangke on the opposite side in a bored way. According to Beijing's observation, Jiangke changed at least 5 movements and 3 sitting positions within 10 minutes, with a stiff smile on his face all the time. Isn't he tired? After Jiangke finished showing his body from multiple angles, he immediately opened his brain to interact with fans, and also organized a lottery to attract fans, hoping to use all 18 martial arts. Beijing judged the distance between the two. It was less than 20 meters, and it was boring to be idle anyway, so he slowly deepened his perception into the wool placed in front of Jiangke. After a while, he regained his senses. Of the 5 pieces of wool that Jiangke chose, only one had an active reaction, and the reaction was very weak. It should be coarse bean seeds or lower, and the active area he feels is not large, so he may not be able to gamble up. It seems that there is no suspense in this gambling battle. Time passed minute by minute, and with the sweet voice of the host, a 1-minute countdown appeared on the screen. Those who haven't made a bet are horrified and seize the last time to operate. Countdown 10, 9, 8, 2, 1. It's time to bet. As the numbers counted down one by one until they stopped, everyone turned off their optical brains and waited for the odds to be revealed. 2 minutes later, the odds were counted and displayed clearly on the big screen. The odds of gross material for numbers 1 to 5 are 9.3, 10.2, 8.9, 9.6, and 11.0, Gu Yun. The gross odds for numbers 6 to 10 are 6.1, 5.5, 7.4, 6.5, and 5.8, Jiangke. The comparison is simply too great. Seeing his odds, Beijing raised his eyebrows slightly. It's a pity he can't bet as a spectator. Otherwise, if you invest all the hundreds of thousands of stars in your account, Wouldn't you make a lot of money? Next is the most exciting part of the calcification. 10 experienced calcite masters stepped forward to the stage under the anxious and expectant gaze of the crowd, fixed the wool, and prepared calcite. Bai Jing didn't draw lines when choosing wool materials, but now he stepped forward and finished the marking of 5 pieces of wool materials at one go. The 5 calcite masters took a look and found that Bai Jing's lines were not drawn randomly, but were extremely precise and just right. Some are based on the direction of the pine blossoms and the python belt, some are close to the depth of the scabs on the skin, and some are based on the distribution of dryness. Their eyes are as vicious as experienced veterans, and they basically do not need to make judgments. Several people looked at each other and saw the same idea in each other's eyes. It seems that most people have misunderstood. Although this beautiful young man is only a first-level stone gambler, his strength is definitely not weak. Jiang Ku also negotiated with a few calcite masters, but his mind was obviously not on this. When Xie Shi received the most attention, how could he give the camera to Master Xie Shi? Of course, he had to solve it himself. These 5 pieces of wool were carefully selected by him, and the most satisfactory one was number 7 wool. This piece of wool is large, about the size of 2 basketballs side by side, and roughly estimated to be at least 50 or 60 kilograms. The bottom is flat, and the top is uneven. There is a long gray python belt extending from the top to the bottom. There are a few blobs of loose pine flowers and ringworms around the python belt, which looks good. Jiang Ku was very optimistic about this piece of wool. He checked it many times during the selection. There was no cracks on such a large piece of wool, and there was no such thing as bristle ringworm, straight ringworm, and other damage to the wool material, which was really rare. Even if it is jade with poor water, as long as it penetrates 5 or 6 centimeters into the wool, he will not be defeated by his size, and it may even rise greatly. Such a highlight moment must be completed by himself. With a lovely smile on his face, Jiang Ku said to Master Xie Shi, "Master, I won't bother you with this piece of wool. Just let me do it. However, I need a few of you to wait for a while, and then start when I finish solving you. Can you?" Several calcite masters naturally nodded in agreement. The wool material was selected by the stone gambler, and they only helped with calcification. The handling robot fixed the large piece of wool on the stone cutter. Jiang Ku looked at the live ball floating around him, adjusted his posture towards the angle of the live broadcast, and displayed the most perfect profile. He has a cute smile on his face, and his voice is soft and cute. "Everyone, please, I have already drawn a hidden line on this piece of wool, and then I will rub the stone along the python belt and the pine flower first. Everyone should support me a lot." Before he could finish speaking, he heard a series of exclamations from the crowd. "Look, it's foggy on number 1. It's still white mist dash. Looking like this, planting water shouldn't be bad." Jiang Ku was startled and unconsciously looked at by Jing opposite. Only the delicate-looking young man rolled up the clothes on his right arm loosely, revealing a jade-like wrist. His previously indifferent eyes became sharp, and there was a slight cold light.